go through Florida and you have to go to like there's a great little place, a pizza like called the Hot Tomato. Stop at the store on the way back or whatever. So it's a good spot to eat.
Yeah, I've heard it does last for a while.
It does.
Sure, we'll be looking for specific.
There's not a whole lot.
Good to know. Yeah, we've
Fruito's where I grew up. So.
I thought it was. Yeah, I think at least 2000 I-25 like past Denver, even past Mount Collins, whatever that is.
Oh, you're gonna go up through Laramie. You're gonna go that way. That's a cool way. It is desolate that once you get past Laramie, it turns into like sagebrush.
That's what I was wondering.
So pack lots of snacks.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. This burns through.
I am. Yeah, I know. I saw Frank.
I'll just say hi to people. She was out in one of the
Entrepreneurial City.
Arizona.
We are a branch of 1 million cups. 1 million cups is based on the idea that the best results come from entrepreneurs getting together with members of the community and sharing a cup of coffee. And the Kauffman Foundation said, we will start a program called 1 million cups, because if we get 1 million cups, we will change the nation into an entrepreneurial nation. But their idea was that if you want to change the nation, you have to start in small communities. So there are dozens of branches of 1 million cups around the United States. Some of them meet once a month. The good ones meet every week. We rely on our volunteers, and we're going to hear from, we have a new coffee sponsor, and an unusual coffee sponsor in that they are providing the coffee and paying for it. It's a little experimental, but we're looking forward to it, and you want to say something about Saltwater Coffee?
I hope you enjoy your coffee. Yeah. So Saltwater Coffee just launched yesterday, actually.
Whoa.
And it's a specialty coffee catering company. So we use all local roasters, and we use it as like a little mobile cart that does pop-up events and anywhere basically people want to gather together for a good cup of coffee. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and you can we have a website you can check out too.
What is your name, Stephanie?
Stephanie, correct? Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And speaking of coffee, I want to call Mark up here to get his, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Sure.
The famous coffee cup went away. Imagine this big coffee cup that we are giving you. Whoever stole that coffee cup, give it back.
James has one.
Yeah. Would you say 30 seconds about why you decided to be an organizer?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I'm a third-time entrepreneur. It's my third business that I'm on right now. I love just being around other entrepreneurs, hearing the stories, and I just really love building this community. There's been a lot of people who've come before me and did an amazing job of bringing it to where it is now. And I just really enjoy being a part of it, and yeah, happy to have everybody here because everybody here is a part of it, and you guys make it what it is. So it's a pleasure to serve.
So if you want one of these swell coffee cups and want to be an organizer, the way to do it is to become an organizer. It's a volunteer position for a year. It's what makes things go. Talk to Mark, talk to me, talk to Mickey, and where's James?
Right here.
James.
I got work up.
So the way 1 Million Cups works is we get two founders or two entrepreneurs, I should say, to present their story for 6 minutes, and then we turn it over to the audience for 20 minutes of questions and answers. And you are very important. It's not just about the entrepreneurs, it's about the interaction, so those 20 minutes are very important to us. We do, and every 1 Million Cups branch uses this format. We're going to start today with Jennifer from TEDx.
All right, we're going to do a voice test. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Super duper. Well, I am Jennifer West, and this is my 3rd year as a volunteer on the organizing team for TEDx Colorado Springs. And as you can see, we are building community, just like you, but we're doing it 18 minutes at a time. There's our community. A little bit about me. I was born in Boulder, so I am a Colorado native. I moved from Boulder to Denver for work, from Denver to Colorado Springs for love, and then joined up with TEDx Colorado Springs to be selfish, just like one of our speakers last year talked about. I wanted to be part of that cool thing that I kept seeing on the internet and listening to on podcasts, and so that's how I came into TED. A little bit more about me. I think I was kind of a weird kid, but it gives me a different perspective on the world, which is exciting, because in TED, we're looking at compelling ideas and ideas that can change the world. Now, I've given away my first question just a little bit. Who knows what TED means? Go ahead.
Technology, entertainment, design.
That's it. All right, get ready. So I hope you like cats, because my cat loves TEDx. So TED is different than TEDx. It is above us, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But TED's mission is to spread ideas. It was initially technology, entertainment, and design and how they converged, and they held conferences starting in 1984. But now topics range from science to business to global issues, and because of the involvement of TEDx organizations, it is an absolute global community. They've created this clearinghouse for free knowledge. You can go on YouTube, you can go on TED.com and find a talk about anything. Learning how to tie your shoes, it's all there. So it's really, again, that power of ideas and how they can change attitudes, lives, and ultimately the world. So I said TEDx is different than TED. We are licensed by TED to operate as an independently organized event. We had to apply for that license. We pitched our theme, we talked about our community and what we wanted to bring to our community. And again, in that spirit of ideas worth spreading, we locally organize a TED-like experience for the Colorado Springs community. So we're not here for political reasons. We're not here for monetary reward or personal gain. In Colorado Springs, everybody that's part of TEDx Colorado Springs is a volunteer. So really, we're not here for money. We're really here because we know that ideas can change the world. So how does it work? The first thing we did was we obtained a license from TED. Like I said, we told them this year's theme, here's what we want to do, here's where we're going to do it. Created a core team of volunteers and partners. We have volunteers here today, and even a past speaker, woohoo! We select our speakers that are ready to share their ideas in 18 minutes or less. We hold a live event, which will be on November 4th. And we record those talks, we edit and upload those talks to TED for approval. And then, people watch them. They watch them on YouTube, they watch them through our website, and if there's enough interest, something really exciting happens for those speakers and for our community. TED.com finds them and will post them on their website. So has anybody seen this video? What is it about?
It's about the power of the female superhero and the purchasing power of buying female superhero characters.
Yes, lovely. Let's see if I can throw that. Whoa. Very cool. That one's vintage. That's from 2014, that shirt. So Dr. Christopher Bell is a professor at UCCS. He was nominated by his students to be a presenter in 2015. His talk drew the attention of TED.com. It was on their homepage for 2 weeks, and this is how many views he's had up to yesterday. Pretty amazing. He has met with Pixar, he has met with Mattel, and been listening to his ideas. He will also be our MC this year, so think about that if you didn't attend. So this is the 4th year in a row for Colorado's TEDx Colorado Springs. Who knew that there were 4 years of Colorado Springs here? Anybody knew that this even existed? Okay, good. So our theme this year is just around the corner. And what we're asking our speakers is, what do you see just around the corner? There might be amazing surprises in technology. You might have that neighbor with a story that you never knew about, or a hidden gem within our community. So we select 10 speakers with their ideas worth spreading. We are currently accepting applications through midnight on June 10th. We do a rigorous audition process. Part of the process is to upload a video. Our videos are scored. If you make it through the first stage, you will do a live audition. If you are selected, you will get coaching and help preparing to make it to the stage. We have about 30 volunteers and growing and always looking. And we will have 100 tickets available for our event. Here are some dates, especially if you are looking at speaking. Hurry up, you can do it. June 10th is the deadline. What you are applying with is a draft of your talk. We really just want to know, what's your idea? We can go from there. So getting to the TEDx Colorado Springs stage, first off, you've got to have an idea. If you don't have one, well, forget it. You've researched it, or maybe you've lived it thoroughly, you're going to write a draft, create your video, learn about TEDx and TED. There are rules about being a speaker. You can't sell from the stage. You can't have pseudoscience. What you present needs to be factual. Our website is there, TEDxColoradoSprings.org. If you make it through the videos, you'll get to be one of the 20 that does live auditions. If you get through that, you'll get a phone call and we'll celebrate you. You'll get a coach that will help you prepare, attend rehearsals, rock the stage, and share your video. All right, in the beginning I said building community. So how can we do that? How can you help us do that? You're gonna look at how you volunteer. There's a sign up down here, be selfish, volunteer. Partner with us and engage. Attend Facebook, social media, join our community.
All right, community, take over.
All right, engage.
Can you talk about your last few slides a little more?
Sure.
Volunteering and what that involves?
Absolutely. So we actually have our volunteer coordinator who is here today. We have all sorts of parts and positions for this, whether it is coaching a speaker, being an usher at the day of the event, helping to build the set, being a meeting minute taker. We have all of those parts open, and you can talk to Kim about that. Or if you're nervous about talking to someone face-to-face, put your name on the form that's over there. So volunteering. The next one is partnering. So being a sponsor, partner, y'all. Sorry. I think there was wine involved with these slides. So it's really about the partnership. We want folks from our community, entrepreneurs, to be part of us, get to bragging rights that you were a sponsor at TEDx Colorado Springs. We do in-kind donations. We do the monetary sponsorships. We have a swag bag where partners will donate an item to the swag bag. And so Dan is our sponsorship coordinator. You can talk to him, or you can put your information on the sponsorship page over there. So you can join our community that way. So engaging, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter account. Our social media gal is right there too in red, Sarah. You can talk to her on Twitter if you want. And then we will be posting our tickets on our website. That will come later in the summer so that you can attend the event. This year we're slated for stargazers, and so we'll have those through our website to purchase. And I don't know if you can see, but she's really moved. You can't see that. You don't see it on the side. We had some amazing speakers last year, and so we planned for that this year as well.
I know someone who had presented to a small TEDx venue. It was a little while ago. Is that someone you would be interested in talking to, and if you apply for it? Because I think the story that he told has advanced quite a bit since then.
Yes, so if you have applied before and didn't make it, you can apply again. If you have had your talk featured at an event, you can apply again. So there is no restriction on that, unless you came in with bad science and we hate you, but I think we'll fix that. Go ahead.
So just to clarify on the, if you want to try to apply, and it's an 8-minute draft talk, but it's not your final talk, what do you recommend being in that video?
The idea. What is your idea worth spreading? A clear and concise message about what you are trying to communicate. What is your idea?
So like no introductions about the person themselves and like about why they're the person to get that idea? Or is it just the idea?
It's just the idea. So imagine one of the things that is helpful is to go peek at some TED Talks or TEDx Talks. What are they saying? Because basically what you give us in that video is going to grow into what's going to be on stage. So you'll have, the background and the details about you will be in the application, but really we kind of want a sample of what we would see on the TEDx stage. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay. Others?
I'm still confused as what is the overall mission and purpose, and how do you measure the success rate of outcomes versus outputs? I always have to turn in reports for that, so
Yes.
I'm wondering.
Well, thank goodness, this is one place in my life I don't have to turn in a report, so I can understand. So TED's mission is spreading ideas. TEDx is an independently organized TED event, so on a local level, we're trying to spread ideas through our community and then in perpetuity on YouTube. What we see as success is speakers that are on the internet, that are getting views, that are getting positive feedback, and kind of the penultimate of this is making it to TED.com like Dr. Bell did and getting your idea really boosted. So for the participants, it's about boosting the signal for their idea we're spreading.
So, I'd imagine someone like Dr. Bell has spent a large amount of time researching his topic, and it's been more of like scholarly research. I guess I've seen some TED where it's been more like a personal experience versus like scholarly research kind of thing. So where do you find like your speakers fall on that spectrum? Is it kind of all over the place, or is it kind of more?
It depends on the year. If you look in 2015, we had someone who had invented a valve that went on space shuttles. Someone else had an exoskeleton cast. So, and then we have the other side of that, of the personal experience, what happened in my life that changed my life, and bringing that idea to change other people's lives. So, yeah, we're open to all of them. Our theme is just around the corner. It's deliberately open so that you can fit where your idea comes from, can fit into that. And if it's something that just is so amazing, that's got nothing to do with our theme, that doesn't mean you can't make it in.
Jennifer, thank you for doing this. It's a wonderful service. I don't know how many people watch this, I should do it. With the idea that a great idea is a great idea no matter where it is, with that in mind, when you decide who is going to be your presenters on stage, do you put more weight to a presenter that is, how do I put it, uniquely Colorado Springs as opposed to Denver or Colorado in general? Do you put more weight on an idea that's something like that? Again, with the idea that a great idea is a great idea.
So we have a scoring rubric for the videos and for the live auditions. We don't pay speakers travel and expenses. So I think that draws a local crowd and a local flavor, but we don't give a higher weight to people who are from Colorado Springs, if that makes sense.
How many submissions do you have currently?
We have, been growing every day, we have 17. Yeah. So we want a lot to choose from, so keep spreading the word.
Is there a reason it's the attendance is capped at 100 to suspend or is that seems like a low number?
So TED says that they give us guidance, they also give us rules. And so one of the rules has to do with how many people in attendance you can have if your organizers have not attended a TED Global or a TED event. So none of us have been to see Big TED, so our attendance is 100. That's all right, it's year 4, we're growing, strategics.
Is that change if you guys attended TED national?
I'm trying to picture the verbiage, but I do believe that after a point, you just...
It's going to use whatever the venue was.
Yeah, exactly. TEDx Mile High, they're big. They have 800 applicants for their speakers.
Well, one thing I've noticed is ideas and thoughts, there's this synchronicity that every year there's like a theme that comes up. Have you seen a common thread that's coming up from your applicants?
I am not looking at them yet because I am part of the team. I will be assigned the ones to watch. So the theme, of course, hopefully is just around the corner. So that pulls that thread through. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the individuals have. Yeah.
Here's TEDx UCCX, isn't it?
Yes.
You guys interact close with them, or what sort of overlap?
Not a whole lot overlap right now, but that's one of the pieces, being volunteer. How much time do you have to reach out? But we definitely want to kind of learn lessons from them. I think they've been around a little longer than we have.
What is the audition date?
The audition date or the deadline for applications?
The audition date.
The audition date is June 24th.
Also, would you mind putting that other slide up there?
Thank you. You're welcome. Questions from my team? Have we missed anything? Still need volunteers. Can I ask a question? What's it like to be a speaker?
So just as a speaker from last year, I just would encourage you, if you have an idea, if you have a thought, it's an amazing experience. The staff, the volunteers are incredible. volunteer, the volunteers make the difference. They made our entire day go without a hitch. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, we have time for the very precious final question. Someone? Kathy, of course.
What can we as a community do to support you at TEDx?
Yes, join our community. Engage on social media, boost the message. Definitely get the word out about the deadline for speaker applications. Think about volunteering, thinking about partnering, and see you at the event.
Thank you. We have time for a short break and community announcements.
Hi, everyone.
You're good to just walk past.
My name is Freddie Rodriguez. I'm an old retired Air Force guy. And I'm doing some research. Last year and a half.
All right. Great. We need to be quiet for the announcements.
So again, my name is Freddie Rodriguez. I'm a retired Air Force guy, turned graduate student, and I've really gravitated towards the entrepreneurship community. And so some of the research I've done in the last year and a half has kept me in this game. I'm currently doing some research now, and I got approval to study the influences of the Colorado Crowdfunding Act on your entrepreneur scholarships. So I'd love to be able to, just totally volunteer, just to interview you for like 30 or 45 minutes. If you or any other entrepreneur who is in that process, would like to volunteer some time, I'd love to interview with you. And then hopefully by the end of this summer, I can make some information available to you. But studying the Colorado Crowdfunding Act, which was passed in 2015, and initial indications are we could probably use some tweaking to help. So I hope I glean that from you in the interview. I'll try and catch up with you.
Okay, I just want to mention our video sponsor, Dreamscape Productions. You can find most of the presentations, the video presentations on YouTube. If you just search for 1 Million Cups, Colorado Springs. Any other announcements? Okay, let's go to our second presentation, which is Eric from Flowh, the silent age.
Yes, Flowh, the silent age. Thank you. My name is Eric, and I'm one of 2 co-founders of Flowh. And we have actually been at it for a little while. This is, let's see, my 6th 1 Million Cups presentation. It was in 04 in Colorado. And actually went out to Kauffman, out to Kansas City, did a presentation for the main stage too. So this is a re-presentation that they asked me to come to talk about. So give you an idea of where we were, where we think we need to go, and all the things that we've learned along. So we're inspiring the world to partake, or in other words, push away from your digital device and go do something. That's our goal in mind. Flowh is not a single calendar, it's a community of calendars in the style of Twitter, which means that all these calendars can follow each other, and all the events can be re-followed, like retweeted on Twitter. Same concept, but just events. The reason why we got into this is that we realized that the online calendar world is an absolute mess. I think everyone here can agree to that, most everyone. So our goal in life is to fix it. We think we're pretty close. If you stop and think about it, we have two markets. We have personal users, people who would like to gather all the calendars that interest them into one place so they can keep an eye on things that they have an interest in. We also have a market of event owners, people who would like to be able to use their calendars as a really effective marketing tools. So two different markets that we work in. Give you an example of what it looks like. This is my Flow calendar logged in. So on the left are all the events that are being fed in by all the calendars that I am following. And on the right is my little profile. And you can see that there's the number of events that I've followed, that I'm watching, and then the number of calendars that are following, and the number of calendars that are following me. So it's just like Twitter. Here's another example. If you just go to this particular calendar, this is what it looks like. This is a Colorado Entrepreneur Calendar. It's actually an aggregation of most of the startup and entrepreneurial venues in the state, all brought into one calendar. And this is a calendar that you'll find on a lot of different websites. Commons on Champa, Innosphere, Rockies Venture Club, they all put this calendar on their site. Dustin's not here. Pikes Peak Small Business Development Center is another example of a calendar that we have, a standalone calendar, and this is connected to all the other SBDCs around the state, and also the Colorado SBD. And then, Jennifer, we have a TEDx calendar. You can see that there's 6,400 events on this calendar, but I filtered it. I just said, oh, I just want to see the ones in Colorado Springs. So two of them popped up, Shriver and yours on November 4th. So just FYI. And you can follow this calendar along with the others that you're interested in. Okay, that'll give you some idea. Here we go. Now let's talk about the event owner side of the fence. Tender Cover is one of our better clients. They're actually a success story for us. They have our calendar. This is a widget that's on their website. And if anybody clicks on one of the events, they get to see all sorts of detailed information about that event. We can bundle a tremendous amount of rich content for those events, all done through the platform itself. As a success story, right now they have over 800 people who are following their calendar directly. They have 13,000 plus emails that we have sent out on their behalf to all their followers. These are emails for notifications, reminders, updates, and things of that sort, just since the beginning of the year. And then also they've had almost 2.5 million event impressions. People who have seen their events on their calendar, on other calendars that are following their calendar, on social media posts, on emails, any number of different vectors that we have available for them. So they're a success story where they have this calendar as a social media solution as part of their larger marketing strategy. There we go. For event owners, we have a dashboard. And there's two versions of the dashboard. The first one is basic. It's always free. Has all sorts of tools and techniques and methods to help you turn your calendar into a marketing force. And there's a number of things there. We can talk about those a little later if you like. Quite a few different things that you can do with your calendar. Then we also have a premium. If you really want to bump it up into a full-scale marketing solution with branding, with upper end performance measurements, with the ability to email directly your followers through broadcast scheduling, things of that sort. That's what this one does, and this is our revenue stream right now, our primary revenue stream. Okay, status. We've been at it for a little while, serious for about 3 years, 4,000 plus accounts, about 150,000 events. That next number is a little low, actually. I think we're up to 30 million event views. We have one patent that's filed provisionally, and another one that's in process. And we are at early revenue, which is always a good sign. So there are some examples of some of our clients over there on the left that are on it's on their website. So we've been live for a little while, and we're growing fairly quickly. So that is Flow in a nutshell. As we say, we are a calendar community, much more than just a simple calendar. Now,
Okay.
Now, the representation, Dustin and Mark had asked if I could just talk a little bit about lessons learned, things that we've learned over the last number of years. So I have these things I've listed up here that I can talk about, but I'm also, of course, open to any questions that you might have as well. So, yes, sir.
Can you tell us about your challenges?
Let me think. I think I've got like 5 of them. Okay, first one. It's one of my favorite sayings from Monty Python. If I had some ham, I could have some ham and eggs if I had some eggs. Well, now that's the story of social media, isn't it? Because content begets content, and users beget users. So it's one of those things where you got to figure out how the heck do you start this process? How do you get things rolling? And then we also learned the second lesson. One of the primary things of social media is UGC, user-generated content, right? And it works pretty well in most social media solutions because they're playing off. I can say this. They're playing off of vanity and gossip. So it tends to there tends to be a lot of UGC. In the event world, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You can't count on UGC. So what's happened? When we first released, we went after the consumer market, personal user. So, well, let's get these people interested. They can gather all their calendars together, and they can start generating content and what have you. It wasn't working because they would go to Flowh and there wasn't anything there. So that was a challenge. So we had to switch over to move towards the event order. And that was a lesson we learned, and I think it was a very important one for us to learn, and that's where we started showing some success. The reason for that is that when you're an event owner, you have a vested interest in people getting to come to your events, right? Butts and seats. So they create content on their calendar, and then they get followers to follow their calendar. Well, their followers are our followers. And then we can take that and cycle back around and take those followers and say, by the way, we notice that you're following the Arvada Performing Arts Center. You may be interested in the Denver Center for Performing Arts. And then they start following that calendar, and then it starts to build from there. So we discovered that we had to go after the event owners and show them value first, and then work from that. Another question we get is, well, but Google Calendar, you can follow multiple calendars on Google Calendar. Yes, you can. However, by no stretch of the imagination can you consider Google Calendar a marketing tool. It's just not. We actually looked at products like Google Calendar and Yahoo and iCal and Outlook and Bob's Calendar as a scheduler. So when you put something on those calendars, you typically are going to go. You have an intent to go to those things. Flowh is different. Flowh says, look, we want you to stay informed of all the things that you're interested in. And then occasionally you may decide, I want to go to that, and that goes on to your calendar at that point, your schedule. That's the difference between the two. Okay? Plus the fact that there's a lot of calendars out there that don't support the Google Calendar. They don't have the snippet of code that does that. We have a button that if you put it up on your little menu bar up above, and you go to a site and you click on the button that has a calendar, and you click on that button, either we have that calendar already in our library and it shows up right on their site, even though they may have no idea who we are. And if not, you get a little note saying, thank you for your request, and a short time later you get an email saying your calendar is prepared, and it's not, it's your account. So you can very easily gather additional calendars if we may not know about them, but we'll get them for you. And then we maintain them going forward. You can't do that with Google Calendar. You can't search for Google Calendar. You can't do discovery with Google Calendar. So there's the big difference. The next thing is table stakes. We discovered in talking to event owners that there are a lot of things that current calendars do. We do quite a few more than that. We have a whole social media layer on top of that. But we discovered that if we were missing one thing that another calendar did, they would say, well, we like what you're doing, but there's just this one thing. So we learned the lesson that we had to have everything in our calendar that all the other calendars have, and then have that layer of social media on top of it. So ours was table stakes. We had to make sure that everything was there, so when somebody came to us and said, well, we'd like it to do this because that's what other calendar does, we go, You got it. Okay? And then this last one was who knew? That actually is spelled correctly. It's kind of a play on words. Using a calendar as a marketing tool that you can add to your overall marketing strategy is really a new concept. People haven't thought about using calendars as a marketing force going forward. So a lot of our effort is in education, trying to get marketers to understand that this is another method, another access point into their followers. And if you stop and think about it, if you do a lot of events, this is your key connection between followers and you. And so it's important for you to use this tool. The other thing about social media for us is that it's just events. That's all we deal with. So you don't get kittens, you don't get memes, you don't get political rants, you don't get clickbait. You just get events. And that's the things that we've learned over the last 3 years or so. So in our pivot to the marketing world, we have gained some real momentum at this point. So, questions?
Are you guys just local to the Colorado market?
We are a Colorado native startup. I like to say, because I'm a Colorado native, so it's easy. Because we're Colorado based, most of our focus right now is in Colorado. That's what we're jumping off at. But we have clients in Norway, Japan, the Northwest. So there are calendars out there that are all over the place. But we are really focused mostly right now in the Colorado area, and then we expand out from there. Okay? Yes, sir?
Do you have because you mentioned those performing arts centers up in the Denver metro area. Obviously, you have to have tickets to go to those events. Is there a buy ticket button or function on your site?
We have a tickets plug-in.
Okay.
We typically say, instead of reinventing that wheel, just put a link in there, a URL in there, and people can use what they're used to, Eventbrite, Access, all the other ones that are out there.
Just back to the customer site, basically?
Yeah, it goes to that ticket site typically. RSVP we do have, we have comment sections and things of that sort in addition to just what we do with tickets. But we make tickets an exposed thing right at the very front, yes.
So it seems like this would lend itself well to a viral growth model in that you can access the time cover calendar through their website, correct? How are you taking the person who has gone to the time cover website, looked at their calendars on their calendar widget through Flowh, and converting them to user long term?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a number of ways you can do that. We see that you're following tentative cover, so we can send you emails giving you recommendations of other things you may be interested in. You're kind of in the creative sphere, so maybe the Denver Center for the Performing Arts, or maybe Creative Colorado, Colorado Creative Industries is another one. So there's a number of things we can touch them with and say, you may also be interested in these. And as soon as they click to follow those, then they're following multiple calendars. That's a good thing. You can even comment, and comments are, we support both hashtags and mention tags. So you can put in a comment, you can put a mention tag in there of that particular person. They'll get a notification that they've been commented on for this particular event. They'll go, well, that's interesting. I think I'll follow them. So there are all sorts of ways that you can create a viral method going forward. It's just like social media, just like you see, same concept. Yes?
What do you do better than Meetup, and what does Meetup do better than you?
It's a good question. We actually follow a lot of Meetup calendars. There's quite a few of them. Meetup does a really great job of spreading the word about new meetups and things of that sort. But try to follow a Meetup calendar and then your daughter's soccer practice. You can't combine the two of them. That's difficult to do. But with us, you can do that. You can follow the Meetup calendar, you can follow your daughter's soccer practice, you can follow the Denver Center for Performing Arts, all in one place. Meetup is limiting you to Meetup venues. That's the difference. Yes?
Do you include educational events, classes, educational classes, anything like that?
We have done some of that. We had done a big thing on CU with all their classes and educational stuff. It's just okay as far as the amount of traffic. But if it's more what do you call it, recreational classes or external, public-based types of classes and things like that, we would be very interested in doing that again. Yes, yes, yes. You were.
What was your previous line of work? What inspired you to do this?
Well, my formal education is I have a master's degree in civil engineering. But my BA is in sociology, so I really have no idea what I'm doing. And now I'm doing this. But I will say that we started another company that was related to video, online video broadcasting, to use video broadcasting after I got out of civil, because I owned a company that did online training. And I said, this is a really interesting thing. So we jumped into that, and the guy who was working for me at that time had this product. His name was
And
Aaron.
also, I'm from the dark ages, you know, in my kitchen, there is a calendar.
On the wall?
On the wall, with, you know, like today's date.
Right.
Yeah, anything like that. Big numbers.
No, we're going towards little implants. So it's just kind of right in front of you all the time. So that's actually not a bad idea on your glass. No, we don't have anything that's paper other than the fact that you can print these things out. But that's it. So your phone's in your pocket, that's the way you access. Yes.
Have you done anything with alumni associations? Because I feel like one of the hard things that they try to do is they have an established list, but they don't have something that's like as dynamic as what you're describing.
Right. We actually have talked to some of the alumni associations out there. And in some cases, they have adopted us and they're using some of our tools. Not on their websites, but just as social connections with their events and things of that sort. So yes, alumni to some degree. The challenge we face is that there are so many different market niches that we would have to focus on, and the question is, where do we get the best bang for the buck? And that's a continuous question for us. Yes, James.
What is your biggest prohibitive thing to growth? Is it needing investment dollars, things of that nature? And then second question is, what's your exit strategy in 5 to 10 years? Do you want to sell out to like a Google or a Facebook, or just kind of talk about the future a little bit?
Okay, that's a give myself out of this mess. First question, biggest challenge, time. Time is the biggest challenge for us. Another favorite saying is I do 90% of my day, I do 90% of my work. The other 10% of the day, I do the other 90% of my work. That's the entrepreneurial role to a great degree. And so that's the biggest challenge that we face right now. And of course, maintaining content, sales, marketing, social media, operations, things of that sort. As far as funding and things like that go, we did a funding round, we attempted a funding round, and we realized early on that it was very expensive. So we, as all of you probably know, there are 3 ways to get money. The first one is debt, the second one is equity, and the third one is sales. And we said, okay, we're going to go for sales. We're going to start building up our sales model. We're going to reduce the risk level for the future funders to a point where the cost of money is much lower than it is now. So that's the goal in life, is to get ourselves to a point where we can demonstrate enough movement of money that future funding is there. As far as 5 to 10 year exit plan goes, yes. We feel that we'll be a great acquisition target at some point in the future in the event world, in the calendar world. Plus the fact that it can expand into all sorts of additional areas besides just a calendar. You can also do event promotions and things of that sort. Yes, sir.
So what is your percentage paid versus free users right now? Because it sounds like the paid is what you're looking for.
That's where we're going right now.
But as an organizer, is it worth me paying for them, right? See where I'm at?
Yeah.
So what's your percentage of?
We just opened up the premium plan about 30, 45 days ago. So we have half a dozen that have already paid into it. It's $10 a month or $15 a month on $150 a year, so it's not very expensive. If you want us to provide professional service beyond that, we have a couple of clients that say, this is great, I love it, but I don't have time. Okay, we'll manage your calendar for you, we'll do all your social media and stuff like that. And that's on a one-off basis. That's on who you are and what you want to do. So. Yes?
As you expand your business, what skill set are you looking for your staff
We actually have the pros from over, just FYI, I didn't have that slide up there, but we got some great people who go for us right now. But going forward, social media connections, marketing is really critical. Believe it or not, technology is pretty well handled right now. We're doing pretty well in that regard. So, and account sales, going out there and getting people to sign up the premium program. Because what we've learned is that because it's such a new and different idea, that there's a tremendous amount of education that goes along with it and handling it. So account management is really critical for us going forward. Yes, ma'am.
So where do we go to access and create our own?
Flowh.com. And you can sign up there, or you can go to any one of the sites that have Flowh, like go to Tab Recover. You click on the follow button and say, well, if you're not already signed up, sign up here. And the moment you sign up, then you're automatically following the Tab Recover calendar. Automatically. So you can sign up from any number of directions. Hang on. Yes.
So, what privacy protections do you have built in to reduce the risk of personally identifiable information leaking out?
Well, first off, we actually have 3 different levels of events. You can have a public event that anybody can discover and see. We have friend level events. Only the people that you have approved can see your events, which also can turn into a loyalty program. And then we have private events that only you will see. If you want to use the calendar as your own personal scheduler, you have the ability to do that. In terms of privacy, we have all sorts of layers of security that we roll into the product. The typical ones, you know, the full-scale encryptions and things of that sort. And then once we get a little bit bigger, we're going to, of course, really put in another layer of access so that people who are even working within the company have only certain levels of access into those products. That's all we can do right now. So, yes. Oh, yes.
So 2 questions. You talked about email.
Yeah.
Do you tie in with my, like I use Aweber in my, so do you tie in with that, or are we using your client? And 2, have you thought about an affiliate program? If I use this as a paid and I share it with Kathy and she joins, is there an affiliate type program, or are you looking at that as a way to expand that?
Yeah. Well, we're always open to those ideas. If somebody wants to do that kind of thing, yes, we'll work something out. I mean, I used to be value-added reseller. I get that model really, really well. And so if you want to do something like with an affiliation program, let's talk. We can certainly set something like that up. Not a problem. Even with people who do website design, we're willing to spend time with you to talk about that as well. And your second question?
Is email like integration, right? Because I've already set it with Aweber. I don't want to tie to another, right? Do you tie this into mine, or how's the email piece of this work?
Right now, email is only sent out to those people who are following you that we have their email address.
But it's through your system.
Through our system. We do not have a connection to external email or upload capabilities or anything like that. It is on the list. No question about it. Because we know that that's going to be a really valuable solution going forward. But there's a billion of them out there, constant contact, yours, you name it. So we have to find ways to make that work smoothly for us. But yes. Yes?
I have a couple questions. One, based off that last one. If I have a calendar, if I'm an event owner with you, do I get access to the people that are like those email addresses so I can put them into my own system?
You don't
part of that?
You don't get the email address directly.
Okay.
Because they signed up with us. So that's important. That's a privacy issue. However, you can email them through us at any time through the premium plan. So if you have a bunch of folks that are following you and you just realize that, hey, this new author is coming into town and we just found out he's going to bring his dog. Okay, so you can send an email through Flowh's platform to all those people who are following you to say, hey, John Doe is bringing his dog, you should come. You can do that, but we do not give you direct access to email.
And my second question was about like the views. Every slide you've shown us looks like a Twitter feed. Basically, is there a weekly or a monthly where you can see like everything that you're following lined up to where you can kind of figure out which one's most important to you?
Yeah, there's in that feed on the left side, there's a tab up there for all and my. So if you click on all, then you get to see everything that all those calendars are feeding to you. But if you refollowed just some of those, you click on mine, and all you see are the ones that you refollowed and the ones that you have entered yourself.
But it's still,
it's stream.
View is still just
It's a stream. We talked a lot about monthly views, weekly views, and things like that, and we discovered that in many cases, they don't get used that very much. And they're not very conducive to mobile. So we said, no, we're sticking with stream. Maybe that's a bad decision, but right now that's where we are. Yes?
Can I create, as an event owner, a public calendar and embed that in HTML? Can I embed your stream on my site?
Yep, that's like what Tatter Cover did. It's just a single line of code, JScript, or
so then the next question is, if I want to be a user to use your system, I have to sign up.
Yes.
So the code allows that to be transferred onto the site, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes right with it. So you go into the dashboard and say, I would like a widget, and say, okay, here's your code, dump it in there, you're done. If you want branded to make it really look like your site and all that sort of stuff, then you go to the premium level. We give you all these tools for branding, CSS, other stuff.
Okay, we have time for our all-important final question. Mark.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah. What can we as a community do to support you?
Oh, sign up. No. Maybe that's a little flippant, but it's probably not too far wrong. Just use the tool. And if you find calendars that you would like us to add to our platform or library, please just let us know. Send us an email or add that little button on there, because you can do that really easily. And start utilizing the tool. Start building it into your social media. Start making posts, scheduled posts to your own Twitter and Facebook accounts through Flowh. You can do that by the share button. So yeah, just help us get the word out. That's really the best thing you guys can do right now.
Good. Thank you. I forgot something. How many people are here for the first time? Wow. All right, mark your calendars. Diane Sneed, former organizer, is coming back to present next week for company Riptide. And Stevenson's movie, I think, is on the calendar. And thank you all for coming.
That's a little coffee next week.
Oh, wild coffee.
And a little coffee.
Okay. All right, my agenda's wrong. Thank you for coming. Come back.
Yeah.